No, that's her sister.
Or niece?
That's her sister. Vera
Farmiga?
No, it's the other one.
I can't remember what her name is.
Yeah.
She's in a lot of stuff. Something like that, yeah. Varmuga.
Vagina Farminga. In the role of
playing a penis.
All right, we're live. We're doing a podcast. Let's get to it.
Hey, you got this little thing in the corner now.
Yeah.
Was that always there?
I just put it there because it was blocking the screen.
Or is that new?
Well, it's always there. Boop. Don't touch it. Don't touch.
Ah, my finger. Cut my finger.
You broke it.
Oh, no.
All right, I'll fix it. All right, it's back.
Sarah Paulson, that's who it is. That's who I hate.
Wow. Sarah Paulson's actually a good actress.
Sarah Paulson's good.
She might be good, but I hate her. I hate her fucking face with a fiery passion.
You don't like her because she's a lesbian.
I had no idea she was a lesbian. It's her fucking like bottom half of her face just makes me want to punch her.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the weekly podcast sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the podcast. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the podcast and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the podcast concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. LIW Anthology Series Review is now in effect.
You know, the first time I used that, I got a copyright thing on my channel
for the horn,
and it said there's a song.
Yeah, it's the horn
because of the horn. But yeah. I listened to the song, no horn.
Yeah, there you
go.
I
was like, I objected to it. I'm like, no, I didn't even use a song there. It's a horn, and I checked out the horn. The horn's fine.
What a bunch of cunts!
Like, it's just a fucking horn, and they're like, nah, you used the song. That's what it said. I'm like, there's no. Okay, whatever.
That's why
again you get a strike. Anyway, welcome to LIW Anthology Series Review, episode 64. We unfortunately watch American Horror Stories 103 Drive-In. I'm Phoenix West.
Tick.
Jansen Carlin.
My name doesn't make any sense on this show, but it will.
Donald West.
Yeah, it's for the next show. There's no drive-in pun I wanted to use or cared to come up with.
What's the next show? Adaptation.
Adaptation.
That's it.
Adaptation. All right, Dick, you seem very pissed off by this show.
I hate it. I fucking hate Ryan Murphy. I hate this show. This episode sucked.
Somebody's
it's so fucking woke. It hurts your asshole. It's so annoying. It's stupid. It sucks. But the worst thing is it's ripping off a fucking John Carpenter episode of Masters of Terror from 15 years ago with Norman Reedus called Cigarette Burns.
Yeah.
It's basically the same fucking plot.
We reviewed that movie on John Carpenter Review, and that's with Norman Reedus, and he's tracking down this movie, and only that's not the entire plot of that movie. It's mostly him tracking it down and then dealing with the aftermath.
Yeah.
That film is La Fin Absolute de Man, and this one is Rabbit. with fucking annoying teenagers who want to get laid. So annoying. If kids talk like this now, and this is where we're going as a human race, we're done. It's over. We're dead.
Said every generation ever.
No. The last generation stopped fucking fascism with the Nazis. These group of fuckers couldn't stop a fucking rabbit crossing the street. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? These people are fucking awful.
Do you think that was the last generation before us?
Yeah.
Well, the other generation sucked too.
Dick, you're an old man. Just remember, every fucking generation has said that, and none of them.
You know what generation doesn't say that anymore? the Greeks, the Romans, they're all gone because their society's crumbled. Yes, actually, generations do disappear, and they have to start again. That's where we're going.
It's annoying at worst.
There's no Atlanteans anymore. There's no Trojans. There's no Grecans, Athens, Spartans. There's no more.
What else?
Any
what
of them. The Akkadians. I mean, there's a lot of the Ethiopians. I mean, seriously, the only ancient race still around is the Chinese.
Phoenix,
and they just kill lots of people.
Do you just want to leave and let him go on like a Grind My Gears episode and just let him rant?
I'll go for another 25 minutes, honestly, because this we're fucked. We are so fucked. It's not even funny. We won't be around for much longer.
So, Jensen, you watched season 1 of the original show, American Horror Story, right?
Years ago when it first came out, yeah.
Dick, have you ever watched American Horror Story?
Yeah, I saw the first season and the second season.
I like the first 2 seasons a lot.
Yeah.
After that,
it gets a little dumb.
Yeah.
I lost it with the second season because it turned into the kitchen sink show. Because
I mean, that's kind of the thing is like the reason these types of shows fail. Like, yes, they have great ideas in the beginning, but you start switching around writers and you start trying to keep the same magic that you had happen in the first few seasons, and nothing lasts forever, right? There's only so long that we can keep this type of thing going. So it's kind of to be expected.
I like American Horror Story. I do a review show for it. So this is kind of like a dual episode because I'm going to throw this on my feed as well. But I watched the first 2 episodes of this new story, this new American Horror Stories, the new show. It's a spinoff.
Were they any better?
They were better. Yeah, I watched the episode 1 and 2 are like a 2-parter. But it's about the Rubber Man from season 1. It's Rubber Woe Man.
Oh, okay.
Woe in parentheses.
So at least they're pulling lore from the old show.
Yeah, and that was the only reason I even enjoyed those episodes. And then I watched the 4th episode, the one after this, and that's about a bunch of it's Danny Trejo as Santa Claus killing a bunch of
Danny Trejo.
Influencers.
That guy won't die.
So if you want to see Danny Trejo kill a bunch of fucking teenagers, or I guess they're like,
watch any of his movies.
I'll watch it.
It's a lot better than this. This was
garbage.
It was, and what I was getting to is they all have this thing with the woke shit, which I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole because how much can you really bitch about that? It's fucking everywhere. Yeah. But I love in Ryan Murphy's world, 80% of the world is gay.
Yeah.
I talked about this on a couple episodes ago by myself, and it sounds horrible when I say it by myself, but I'm like, why is everyone like, even so much that the straight guys can be turned gay?
Yeah, well,
I'm like,
I all for representation in cinema and film and TV shows and shit like that, but to the point where we're like, it's everyone, like that's kind of silly, right? It's just like any other person, minority, individual type of person that needs to be represented. Not everybody has to make it in the show.
Says the guy with 3 posters behind him that have all white faces.
It's not like on purpose.
I know, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's just one's a real white face because it's a mask.
Yeah, it's a mask.
Guy Fawkes is white.
Guy Fawkes is so white.
Yeah,
no, there's a season of American Horror Story called Apocalypse. And it's a decent season, but it's like the end of the world, and after the bomb fell, and then they're in a bunker, and it's all gay dudes, and I'm like, how are you planning on repopulating?
Well, was it West Hollywood? Is that where the bomb went off? I don't know,
but it doesn't even make sense logistically when you're thinking about the pragmatism of what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
These people need to survive and carry on humanity, and then they're all gay.
Yeah.
It's like. Or they're old because what's their
well, I mean, if you look at it, if you think about it, I mean, just because they're gay doesn't mean they still can't procreate. But as long as there's people willing to just do it,
well, they just have to find a female. That's all.
Right. I mean, obviously there has to be a female present, but
well, the females that were present were this giant old lady and then Kathy Bates.
Who wouldn't want to get into that?
Another giant old lady.
So maybe nobody's breeding at this point. Okay, so. Not a real complaint, but it's like, why? I get that you want to do that because Ryan Murphy is gay.
It's Ryan Murphy's world,
but not 80%. That's all I'm saying.
No. Well, okay. representation in Hollywood now is literally insane
Mhm.
because in reality, the demographics just aren't there. You
They're
don't
not.
live in a world where it's 50-50 everything. It just
Unless
doesn't.
you live in LA.
No, not even LA because
They
I've
wanna
like
pretend
lived
like
there.
it's
It's not.
LA.
Yeah, it's not. They
I
are
know.
segregated as hell. There's a Hispanic area. There's the gay area, lesbian area. They don't cross streams. They're all very much their own side. They don't mix.
Yeah,
They
I
try
live,
to be open, but they're the most closed-minded people you'll ever meet.
I lived in
think
Little
the-
Korea, and there's a hard line between Little Korea and Little Armenia. Like they do
Yes.
not
No.
cross the street to each other.
Yes.
I think the worst part about it for me is not that it's being represented in the story at all. Like I don't care. Like fine, represent. I don't be woke, whatever. But if it's not going to add value to the story, like
Well, that's the thing.
why are we doing it?
That's
Well,
right.
that's the thing. That's why nobody likes Ryan Murphy because Ryan Murphy's the type of guy, and this is why I don't like Ryan Murphy because on Glee, Dave Grohl didn't let him use any of his music for Glee, and it wasn't because and Ryan Murphy called him like a homophobe, and Dave Grohl was like, no, I just don't like the show. Like I don't like your show.
Why would he like Glee?
I
Why would
don't
Dave Grohl-
care. Yeah,
Right.
and so, like, Ryan Murphy went on this tirade about how awful David Grohl was because he wouldn't give up the rights to his music.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wouldn't give you the rights to music. Your show sucks.
When in actuality, I think the real thing is that David Grohl has been said to be like the nicest person.
Well, yeah,
that you'd ever
the other
meet.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone who knows Dave
Yeah.
Grohl loves him.
Yeah.
And everyone who knows Ryan Murphy probably doesn't like him very much.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Dave Grohl goes so far out of his way. If you ever watch, like, there's like stuff about him, how he goes so far out of his way for his fans, and no,
Yeah.
you
You're
can't
just
call him an
pandering.
asshole.
You're just pandering. Or not Dave Grohl, but Brian Murphy's just
Yeah.
pandering at this point.
Well, yeah, that's what he does.
I don't have the hatred for Ryan Murphy that you do, but there are obviously spots where I could agree. Why his stories are mostly stupid. When he comes up with an idea and hands it over to a room of writers and they come up with ideas and they flush it out and turn it into a season, fine. But what I'm seeing is he wrote a lot of these scripts for this American Horror Stories, and I'm like, the first 2 episodes are two-parter. It's a two-parter, and the second half of that does not need to exist. They should have smooshed it down for the last few minutes. So he likes to indulge into his own smells and farts, if you will. But I don't hate the guy. I don't know much about him, but it sounds like a guy that the more you hear, the more you hate. So I don't know.
I mean, how much of it though really is all him? Like that's my real question. How much say does he really have?
All of it.
Yeah,
His shows,
he's like Seth MacFarlane at FX.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a big producer.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of big hits under his belt.
He's got American Horror Stories, American Horror Story. He's got Pose. He had Glee, but 3 out of the 4 are on FX. And
he had a really great
Well, I mean-
show. The People versus O.J. Simpson was a great show, but that wasn't written by him. That's the thing.
also FX.
That
Well,
was
I mean,
written by the guys that did Ed Wood.
Well, we got to talk about too the fact that the Brad Falchuk is a creator and a writer on the show too. What's his input like?
He's
not
another.
involved as-
I mean,
Well,
it
I
says
think
it
he's
says
his
written
partner.
by
Yeah.
on a few
They're-
episodes.
They're definitely partners in that.
Well,
Written
they-
by 19. He's written 19 episodes.
They created that show that was Nip Tuck. Remember that? That was kind of Ryan Murphy's break was Nick Tuck, and that was supposed to be another show
Nip
that was
Tuck
like
was good.
groundbreaking and edgy and all that stuff because it was
Yeah.
cable and ooh.
Well, Nip Tuck actually had real substance to it, though. When you got down to it, like there was an actual storyline there, whereas these one-off seasons, yeah, some of them are good, but if you don't have a good basis, it's just going to be dog shit. Nobody's going to care about it. So,
Looking at you, freak show season.
yeah, right.
I hate that.
People like that show.
I think that's the last season I watched. I was done with it
fucking
after that.
garbage.
Well, everybody raves about Lady Gaga when she's in whatever season she's
Lady
in.
Gaga. I think it's that one.
The
No.
the hotel.
She's in Hotel, and she's
Yeah.
also in Roanoke.
Oh,
I heard Roanoke's the worst one
Roanoke's not bad.
because
No.
Sarah Paulson did not like doing Roanoke. I know that.
Yeah. Well, Sarah Paulson can suck a fat show to hate her dumb
I don't
face.
agree with that, but I love Sarah Paulson.
I hate the bottom part of her fucking face.
She's
I mean,
another
just look at a picture of her, cover her eyes, and just be like,
very pretty. She's a very attractive woman.
No, she's got like this huge. She's got like nostrils that you can fit fucking acorns.
She likes old women though. That's the thing. She's a gilf. Like she likes banging the gilfs.
Who is she married to?
She bangs like all the older lesbians. It's hilarious. She's been with all of them. Like if you look at her dating record, which I do all the time, I look at everybody who's dating who. I love that stuff.
Holland Taylor.
Yeah, she's with some old lesbian now. She was with Cherry Jones.
Oh, Jesus.
She could have so much young tang. She goes through the
It's
gills.
the mom from the grandma from 2.5 Men.
Yeah, no. I don't know that show either. I never watched
Sorry,
that.
I like comedy. I don't know what that.
No, hold on. I mean, that's just like her
Regan.
most recognizable thing. She's been in a ton of other shit. She was in Truman Show.
Uh-oh.
I dropped your link.
The mom
Truman Show's mom, I think, right?
Truman's mom.
Yeah.
When he's like, it looks very small. He's like, it often does when we look back at memories. All right, let's get into the plot. We kind of touched on it.
We did. Cigarette Burns. Go watch it.
It is a
That's the plot.
A lot of teenagers trying to fuck. They go to a skate park after he can't fuck his girlfriend, and then
That was so
talk
fucking
for another
intolerable.
12 fucking minutes about this movie that's going to show up.
Oh my god.
Then he goes home and he watches footage from like 94, 96.
86.
Like
86 is when they showed it and people went nuts.
I guess it was because Tipper Gore.
Yeah. It was 86.
Yeah, when she was doing her whole
anti-rap
PMRC thing.
She's gone after NWA and rap music and Ice-T.
So they wrote this is what American Horror Story does is they write real life into their horror. Not always successfully. For instance, Tipper Gore showing up. And then the director's played by John Carroll Lynch, and he attacks her, calls her a bitch because they're going to pull the movie.
And we see it 3 times. They show it like 3 times.
For a 40-minute episode, do not show us the exact same thing twice.
Well, not only that, don't give us like I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but towards the end of the episode, they give us 10 minutes of backstory that we already fucking knew, that we already gathered.
They repeat themselves like 5 times in the movie. I'm just like, we know this already. Yes, very good.
Also,
Next.
it's not adding anything to the story.
No,
it's not changing anything for me.
It's garbage. It's just shit. It's shit.
It is the worst of the 4 I've seen so far.
Yeah. What's the rating on IMDb?
5.
If it's a high, how much?
5.7.
Okay.
That's low for a TV episode.
That's low. That's good.
I can agree with that, though.
And that's with
about
1,400 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, yeah, they talk about you can't just put on Bob Ross to get laid, dude. You gotta go to the drive-in because we're 16. We're talking about drive-in and they're film buffs for some fucking reason.
That was the other annoying part.
You know who William Castle was? Why?
Yeah.
But anyway, they decided to go to the drive-in, and with this Rabbit movie's playing, it's been banned because an outbreak happened at the what's that theater in Westwood that's on that corner?
Well, it's the Westwood Theater, Fox Theater, I think, but it wasn't the Fox Theater. It was called something else. They weren't going to use the actual theater.
Anyway, an outbreak of syphilis happens. Everybody dies from it.
The same theater that Margot Robbie goes to.
Yes.
Time in Hollywood and watches herself.
Yeah.
Same theater.
I'm in the movie.
Yeah. Anyway,
that scene pissed me off.
Finally get to the drive-in like 20 minutes into the episode. We were
I think it was like closer to like 35 minutes.
It was the fireworks factory thing. When are they going to get to the drive-in?
The fireworks factory.
We're sitting here at the box factory instead.
Well, that was the best itchy and nichey show I've ever seen.
Oh, I told Jansen we were talking about Simpsons and just crying.
That'll happen. That'll lead into terrible fucking episodes where we talk about something else.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So they start watching them. They're getting ready to get concessions. Adrienne Barbeau is running the projection booth, and then she has a terrible actor, teenager with her. And there's one woman protesting with an eye
with
patch.
an eye patch. Yeah.
Do I get my prop out?
Yo, yeah, word. Yeah.
I think the most annoying part about that is like, if this is such a big deal, why is there only one person protesting? Like, did we not have the budget for enough extras?
If this show was going to be clever and like
sardonic, rabbit.
Well, no, she should have done this. Oh, the eye patch. Oh, ignore that. That's a separate thing I had, but that had nothing to do with the movie. That's a separate accident I had. I'm prone to falling down. I don't need
No,
She's like
hilarious.
the bitch's younger, uglier sister from Kill Bill.
Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah, yeah.
This is Harley Hannah.
Black Diamond? What's her name?
Black Diamond.
Is that
No,
her
no. No, she's Copperhead, wasn't she? No.
name? You might be right.
Was it Copperhead? I can't remember.
Oh man, Kill Bill.
Black Mamba was Uma.
Yeah, so she's something else then. Okay.
Ellie
Anyway,
Driver, she was called the
Cottonmouth.
California Mountain Steak.
Oh, that's right. California Mountain. Cottonmouth was, I think, Vivica Fox.
Cottonmouth Kings, great band. Oh, Cottonmouth Kings with a K, I believe. Anyway, the movie starts to play, and then the girl's suddenly like, "I want to get in. I want you inside me," and she starts to fucking ride him in the back seat.
Meanwhile, we're saying who's getting their dick bit off.
The buddy.
Saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, the buddy, her friend. Sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. We see him at high school. Her friend is a guy dressed as a woman, which again, don't give a shit if that's what happens, but it went nowhere. It meant nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the guy from Stargate.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it was a setup for a gag, literally.
Yeah, that's all it was. All it was.
He goes and he blows the friend.
Yeah. Gags.
You see how they did that, where the friend is gay, and they didn't have to mention it 55 times. Like,
Right.
I wasn't blown. I wasn't confused. I was like, I was gay, okay, and I didn't think about this guy's. I'm gonna fuck that dude. I'm gonna show him a surprise, and like he's doing all this like innuendo. Like, I get it. Like, stop with the dialogue with this.
You're
like,
a horny teenager. We get it.
Yeah, but then he starts blowing him, which it went on way too long. I mean, he's like blowing him and looking at the screen, and then it cuts away, and then it cuts back to him, and he bites his dick off or bites something off. I thought it was foreskin because that was like this weird. It was a weird material that didn't look like a dick.
I guess it was his ball sack too. I don't know.
It's called a drive-in circumcision.
Ah,
yeah.
Good to know. Good
to know. Drive-in bris.
Around. Some businesses go out, and this one.
Yeah,
everything needs to be driving.
And then they all turn into zombies from 28 Days Later.
Yeah,
which is so annoying. It's like
running and
really
veiny foreheads and shit.
Yeah, you know what's cooler than this entire episode? Just that one shot in the opening of that movie where it's just the blood falling from the sky.
Yeah,
he got in the eye. And I think was that 28 weeks later that happened in, or was that 28 days later?
I can't remember.
I didn't watch either of them.
I don't like those movies.
I don't watch zombie movies.
I don't like the fast zombies because I'm like, there's no, just blow your brains out.
Well, what pisses me off?
You jerking it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that tranny biting the guy's dick off in the show. No, what bothered me about zombie movies is that people think they're real, and I'm like, that's never going to happen in real life. So what the fuck are you talking about?
No.
Like, the zombie apocalypse could happen. We gotta be in a house with like a big wall.
It's like physiologically impossible.
It's not real. Yeah, it's called fiction, dipshit, and not even very good fiction.
If it did happen, they would come back to life and just remain still.
Well, they would rot. Like,
well,
they
would rot so fast that it would last
they'd be gone
2 days.
6 weeks to the most. They'd be gone. There'd be no hordes of zombies like Walking Dead. The fucking horde. They'd be rotted. Their legs would be gone. They'd be crawling. It would be meat rolling on top of meat. It'd be disgusting.
No, but you can say that about every monster that exists in horror movies. Like
because they're not real.
Exactly. But
yeah,
I still get why people like it. But
zombies
are so played out.
Yeah, it's played out. I'm sick of them.
And this was a long way to go to get the zombies. I was so disappointed when they show up and they're just zombies.
Yeah.
Like one starts crawling in the window and they start hitting, in their fucking station wagon. They start hitting the gas and
they got no airbags in their car.
And that dude like threw 55 elbows at that dude, and he's just keeps going, and then finally falls out.
But for whatever reason, after they get out of the car or after they come out later, the one pair of scissors in the chest kills them instantly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
He was tired from being a zombie all night. Okay,
yeah.
He was plumb tuckered out.
Yeah, I got a belly full of human meat.
Oh man, I'm just so stuffed.
Hey, Archie.
What?
I saw Archford walking in behind you.
So, hey, Bubba.
Hey,
Everything's Archie.
the only kill I liked was when they hit that guy and his head splattered on the wall.
Yeah, that's about it.
That was it. Because Adrian Barbeau stabs that girl, the eye patch
In the
lady,
eye, in the other
Ha, ha,
eye.
ha.
Saw
Yeah.
that coming. It's just,
Oh,
oh my God. It's a threesome.
Josh Hutcherson.
What's that, Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah.
I could believe it. Yeah, I'll do it.
If you work, if you work,
You work. Hunger Games was a long time ago.
I'm hungry. I'm in the Hunger Games.
When I saw Hunger Games, and when he's the worst fucking character in fiction, that PETA, that character in the Hunger Games, he's the worst fucking character in fiction, hands down. He plays a fucking big fat pussy, and he gets Jennifer Lawrence. No fucking way in reality or any fiction that would happen.
Hey,
somebody's got to do
reality. You think Darren Aronofsky is not a giant pussy?
No, Darren Aronofsky is no pussy. Have you seen him talk?
He talks a tough game.
He talks like, hey, what's going on over here? All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did this movie called The Fountain, and it was about like transcendentalism and conquistadors, and Hugh Jackman's in it.
It's about a bunch of shit I can't pronounce. It's fucking awesome.
That's back when I was banging Rachel Weisz, And so, I was banging Rachel, and I wrote the script about conquistadors. And I wanted to, I did that Jew movie about math.
Archie.
What was that?
Talking to the dog.
Oh.
You got something to say?
Archibald. Nothing.
Say?
Old man dog.
Hey, over here. Hey, look.
He's going to start doing dick.
I'm Darren Aronofsky.
This generation.
This damn fucking generation is a bunch of fucking pussies. I can tell you that right now.
Okay,
So when I wrote Black Swan with that other bitch, that Natalie Portman girl, I phoned her too. I fucked her in the ass. Just like the other movie.
Are you Ron Livingston from Adaptation?
Adaptation, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Bringing that in.
All
No,
right,
I'm just kidding.
Let's continue with a very depthful plot that we're going to get lost in. Because what happens the rest of the episode is the teenagers run inside, kill Adrian Barbeau with a film reel, and then he falls asleep while she stares out the window for several hours.
Yeah.
And they grab a shotgun and go to John Carroll Lynch's house. And
her dad's a Marine. She knows how to use a shotgun.
Whatever. It's. Oh. I love John Carroll Lynch is in my top 5 actors. He really is. He's one of those guys where even he's in the Walking Dead episode. I think his character's name is Eastman. And I was watching it and I'm like, fuck this episode. Oh, John Carroll Lynch. And I hate the rest of the episode. And I'm like, God, he's so good in it though. He's great in everything he's ever done. But couldn't save this. This episode.
I mean, even though he's repeating the plot that we already know at the end, his monologuing part is probably the best part of the episode.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy.
From a just an overview standpoint,
when he plays Rip Torn playing this character, and he attacks Tipper Gore, that was the funniest shit. That's the best part of the episode.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a zombie.
I like that he kills all the women he meets in this episode. He yells, "You bitch" at them.
Yeah.
Granted, one of them shot him in the knees.
Yes.
But and the other's Tipper Gore, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Almost
Tipper Gore is fucking awful. There's a reason. Tipper Gore is the reason we have those explicit lyrics on your fucking CDs. That's Tipper Gore.
Yeah.
She's a cunt. God,
hey, that's more than level 4.
We're going to have to put an explicit sticker on this podcast.
To be fair, as a joke to make fun of her and that whole thing, every podcast that poster, if you look at it, has the explicit. I put it on there, all of them.
That's funny.
Because I can't fucking stand that lady. Anyway, all they do is they show up with a shotgun and it is Bud's trailer. They didn't have a snake in there and give him money, but instead they let him monologue for about 7 to 8 minutes. And he tells the entire backstory for something we already know, like Jensen said earlier, and something it doesn't matter at this point because he's about to die. So why the fuck do I care? Because where else is this going to go? Where is his ending going to go?
Well, the ending basically ends with them fucking in the bedroom, and then the computer comes on and the movie's streaming.
Yeah.
So how did it get digitized? We didn't see that part. They didn't even hint at that part.
No, they did.
When was that?
He goes, so she shoots him in the knees. They get the information. They find the original. and then they burn it on the stove, and then they leave, and they tip over the thing so he can't crawl out, which apparently that stops him. But he goes, as they're walking out the door, he goes, "I got a Rolls Royce in the driveway. How do you think I got that?" And what we find out is that he sold it to Netflix.
Oh, is that the joke?
Yeah,
because I didn't hear that because it kept fucking glitching on me the whole fucking time.
But that's why I was saying I think he's going to show a new. I thought he did a new movie because he kept saying he perfected it. So I thought he was doing his second movie he's going to release.
No, it's George Lucas. He keeps doing a special edition of Rabbit Rabbit.
Yeah, it was just a remastered version of Rabbit Rabbit on Netflix. And why would Netflix put that out?
I this time the rabbit is a CGI character. He's comedic. It's the first time we had a character like this in the series.
At least in Cigarette Burns, they showed clips from the movie as bad as they were. They still show clips from it. This doesn't even attempt to. You see, like super out of focus, where you can't make out anything.
Hey,
just no attempt at that.
It's just terrible.
And the length, this versus Masters of Horror isn't that far different. And they did way more of their story than this. This went nowhere and just sucked up time somehow. Dick has quit.
Yep. Same. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you can carry the rest of this by yourself.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah, it's a nope from me.
It's a definite nope. As bad as the fourth episode is, this was worse because it should have been good, like better than what it is. But
right, if you're going to remake something, you know everything that you should or shouldn't do, right? So why did we make it worse?
That fourth episode it's called Bro House, and it's like 4 dudes doing pranks, and they live in a house, and all they do is make money off their videos, and then they reveal to a bunch of kids that Santa's not real, so Danny Trejo kills them, which we've seen before in various Christmas horror movies. But it reminded me of the Blumhouse show, that Into the Dark series that they have on Amazon, where it's just fucking terrible.
Never seen it.
Yeah, well, we might have to someday.
It's on Amazon?
Yes. Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awful.
Hulu.
But this was worse because this should have gone somewhere, but I hated every character. I didn't give a shit if they died. The girl holds up a shotgun, and instead of being like, "Let's go kill this prick," and she's like, let's go kill that director.
Well, they're boring. They're boring actors. Everybody's fucking boring.
It looked like they were going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you also have to blame the script on that shit because
fucking
they're only saying what they wrote. So
goddamn millennials.
Who's the fuck to blame here?
They're always sleeping, not doing anything, sleeping in and watching their sexy shows.
Yeah. Who actually wrote the script of this?
I can't remember.
So this was written by Manny Cotto.
Manny Cotto. Look up the director, Edward Sanchez. Is that the guy who did Blair Witch?
Yes.
Manny Cotto done a better job.
He wrote Dr. Giggles.
Oh, sure.
Manny Cotto did. He produced 24. He produced Dexter. He produced 24 Legacy.
So he's done nothing.
Did he produce Masters of Horror, where he ripped off Cigarette Burns?
He directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt called Morning Mess.
Okay, so he's done nothing.
From episode 310, starring Steven Weber from Wings. He wrote 4 of these episodes. Oh, God. He wrote The Naughty List, the other one I watched. Oh, God.
So he just rips off other movies, basically. That's what he does.
He wrote 10 episodes of Dexter.
Oh, God, that's just sucks.
Probably the final season.
Which episodes?
14 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise, so that's the whole series, right?
Wow.
He's
a hack.
2 episodes. Alfred Hitchcock Presents from the 80s. He did 1 episode.
God, he's a hack.
The guy knows anthology shows is the point.
Yeah. That's why he's on it. That's why he's still working.
Do not... an anthology show has to be done a certain way because you only have a limited time to tell your story. It's not going to carry over. And you can't spend 20 minutes hanging around a skate park while kids talking about fucking and watching a character at the end repeat everything we've watched for 10 minutes.
Well, there's 3 tenements to an anthology episode. 1, you have to have a twist ending or some kind of twist. Usually it's a bad, dour episode where it's like you go for broke on the whole dreariness and
Well, fuck. Look at the R.L.
existential dread stuff. Yeah.
R.L. Stein Haunting Hour had a better ending and better episode.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is another one of those ones where we watched quite a few anthology series episodes that have been too long, right? They're an hour-long episode that should have been 30 minutes. This is one of those.
Yeah. This is 40 minutes. It should have been
20, 25.
15, 20.
Yeah.
No.
Because there's no story here.
No.
They're showing a horror movie that makes people go crazy. That's a short. That's 15, 20 minutes. That's it.
Yep.
Because there's no B plot at all.
Well, no, the B plot is they want to get laid.
Yeah. There's no B plot
That's
that needs to be watched.
No.
Because they don't get laid. At the end, I don't know if they fuck.
Well, that's the twist. They screw at the end.
Really, what you're looking at here is the character arcs is, now I will fuck with your parents in the house. So that's her character arc.
Yes.
He has no character arc.
No.
And
no, his character arc is he killed his friend with a pair of scissors.
he stabs a zombie in the stomach, and he's like, I guess I'm dead.
Their character arcs are
I don't think we can call it a character.
Murderers.
I don't think we can call it a character art where it's literally life or death.
Yeah, it's just something that happened, really.
Yeah, he's just had to do it.
So literally the only character arc.
It's like chores.
Sarcasm.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, in an anthology episode, you don't really need a character arc. But
no,
if you're looking at that because it's the only other thing I can look to, she wants to fuck him with his parents in the house. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the subplot.
There's fuck. Who's this for? Nobody.
Nobody.
It's for Ryan Murphy. That's it. It appears. It's to pat himself on the back for being woke. That's it.
Oh yeah, he does that all the time.
And I hate being a guy that like rants about people being woke, but holy shit, that's all it was. There's nothing else to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not interesting. It's boring. It's like I've seen it. Next,
it's season
if
one.
If the transgender character was interesting, it'd be different. Make him interesting. Make him not a horny, awful monster of a character. It's just like, I'm going to suck his dick tonight. He ain't going to know what's coming.
If I could pinpoint my hatred for that character, it's because
the hat.
If you remember, like the late 90s, early 2000s would have that gay character in it, super gay character. And the only dialogue they had the entire movie was how they want to fuck a dude.
Yeah.
That's all they could talk about.
No, they don't know how to write real people.
That's as deep as their character went.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
annoying.
joke. And then we see Ryan Murphy, who wants to have representation for gay people, and all he talks about is wanting to suck this guy's dick. And then we have to watch it. And that's all it is.
It's not interesting.
Yeah. There's no actual character there. He's just there to represent something without a character.
It's the worst kind of stereotype.
Yeah.
It's like a step and fetch it black character. It's like a minstrel character from the 20s and the teens. Yeah. It's like blackface. It's just like it's stupid, and it's not forwarding your agenda. It's just making you look like an asshole.
It becomes the character and the cause becomes a prop at some point.
Yeah, it's
you
a joke.
It as a prop.
Yeah.
Because I watch a lot of commercials and I really pay attention to them, and I notice the current trend right now is to have one person with Down syndrome in your commercial, and I'm like, they're like fucking props right now.
At least you get to choose yours.
It's insane.
Like, adoption's good.
It's always the person hugs the person with Down syndrome, and they're like, banner health, and I'm like, and then I see the next one like Taco Bell and the same thing, and I'm like,
can I get a nachos bel grande?
When I notice a trend going on, I'm like, you're using them as props, and that's fucked up for your.
Yeah.
I'm gonna want tacos more because you.
Even a retard likes Taco Bell.
You have to be.
Dick, you have no filter.
The same 5 ingredients per item menu. You got to be a retard to love Taco Bell.
That's not a bad slogan for them.
Can I get a nachos bel grande and a chalupa?
Taco Bell's real tagline should be Taco Bell, I hate my asshole.
Exactly.
I love the fact that their slogan is "Live Moss," like you're gonna live more having.
Right.
Taco Bell.
Incidentally, that's Ryan Murphy's on his business card. I hate my asshole. Because it just wants dick all the time. I just need it. I need it. I'm so awful. I'm so bad. Ugh, fuck you, Ryan Murphy.
You just want to go. Do you just want to
get out of here?
If you want
I've been done with this for 10 minutes.
God, fuck this show. This show sucks. I give it a fucking 2.
Roll credits.
I gave it a 4.
I give it 2, and that's for John Carroll, not Lynch.
Yeah, most of my points are for John Carroll Lynch.
Exactly. And bitch.
Even the zombie shots were boring.
The whole thing was boring.
Yeah, it's between like a 4 and a 5 for me. It's not the worst Anthology episode I've ever seen, but it was nothing to call home about.
What was worse than this?
A lot.
What's worse?
Any Tales from the Crypt episode that we've watched?
See, you're ignorant. You're just an ignorant fool.
He hasn't watched any of the good ones.
No, he hasn't.
A lot of the bad ones.
He saw a lot of the bad ones.
I watched all of the bad ones.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to blame ignorance on that one. It's the fact that he had a nice heaping bowl of Tales from the Crypt, and it was full of turds.
I'm sure if I saw the Danny Trejo episode first, I probably would have liked that one more.
It's still annoying, and it gets desperate where they film a guy jumping off a bridge in that episode, and then they lose all their subscribers, lose a bunch of subscribers. So they're like, we need to do something else, and then it's four like 25-year-old dudes, and then I was like, I wonder what's gonna happen. They're like, we need to go gay, and I'm like, oh, there's Ryan Murphy, and they start like licking ice cream off each other's bellies. I'm like,
really?
Producer making. Corny old producers making women get naked on screen because like.
Well, you know what that says? That says that the whole theory with the LGBTQ is it's not a choice. It's just we're born this way. Well, this show just showed you that's a choice. So which is it? You can't have it both ways, guys.
They didn't go full. They're just like, we need to, and then say no homo for everything. It's like,
but it's saying that they could turn it on and on like a light switch. Well, that's not right. That's what everybody that doesn't like you've been saying for 50 fucking years, and you're now saying, oh, that's true. We can turn it on and off if we want to.
The more insulting part is after they lick ice cream off each other, they stop doing that. It's like it's over. They got it out of their system, and then they just move on to the rest of the plot. I'm like, what the fuck was that then?
It was just
going to lead into this. No,
Ryan Murphy's wank session. That's what it was.
It felt masturbatory.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
it felt. I was like, this has nothing to do with the actual episode.
That's stupid. It's just stupid.
Like, yeah, you know that guy that made what's that fucking movie with the
Red Letter Media guy that does all those gay
David Dakota, but no, that's But no, the other guy that made that Raptor movie that Red Letter Media did, and it's like women, and like when they get too horny, turn the Raptors, and it's just an excuse for that guy to film naked women. That's what it felt like. And
Adam would know who that was.
Yeah,
Adam would have known.
Adam. Oh, I heard a dog bark. Is that Adam?
No, such. He's losing his mind. I got to go down there.
All right, let's get out of here. So outro.
You do the outro.
Mm-hmm.
Citizens of Wonderland, rejoice in the fact that we have covered another episode on the podcast. Go to liwstudios.com for more videos and podcasts. Subscribe to Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Search on Amazon for books by Richard Pierce. Until next time, and in the meantime, we are Phoenix West, Dick Dickett and Jansen Carlin. So long, citizens. All hail our glorious leader. Shut off the fucking podcast now.
It's
Vera Farmiga.
Oh, Dick.
We have fun on this show, don't we? We got 10 minutes, right? I'm going to go after him.
Hello.
Hello?
No.
Hello? That's better. Did you watch Suicide Squad?
No.
I watched it today.
Worth it?
I got like 4 hours of sleep last night, so I was in and out of consciousness when I watched it. But from what I saw, it was pretty good. I'll have to watch it again. Hey, knock it off! Jesus.
He's going crazy. I forgot to use these little scores that Adam put on here. Bloop. My ranking for LA or American Horror Stories.
Cuatro. Cinco. Kelly's over at Leanne's house. So he's like just been pacing around the house. Where's mom? Where'd she go?
I need to change my name.
I give American Horror Stories. All right. Shall we switch over? Boom, boom, boom. I feel so much more comfortable over here with the pink and the adaptation background.
Yes. It's much better than that awful Ryan Murphy.
This is the first time I've seen this movie.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I'm going to watch Raising Arizona tomorrow for the first time, too.
Oh, my God. You're in for a treat.
I know. I'm excited. I love finding out about, like, movie. Like, I've known about Raising Arizona for the first time, but, like, just knowing going into it that it's something I'm going to enjoy and being able to, like, fully absorb it and remember it, because you only get to watch something for the first time once, right? So I'm excited for it.
I can't believe you haven't watched Raising Arizona before.
I know David Williams gave me shit for it this week. He said some line from it, and I was like, I don't know.
You gotta have your tip test.
I forgot what he said, but it's like, you got to go watch that.
Smalls, dressed like a rock star.
Recording.
Penis. Oh, hello.
So you've never seen Raising Arizona, though. That's
Negative.
That was my first Nick Cage movie.
Really. I think my first Nick Cage movie. Oh shit! Probably Face Off.
My first Nick Cage movie was that one where he fucks that girl in the bed. What's it called? That awful one.
Zondale. You mean the one that's at the bottom of my list?
Yeah, that's it. No, I never saw it.
Oh, shall I? Let me start off here with my Cage rankings, because I don't want any mystery in this. I love it. Adaptation is my favorite Cage movie.
It was solid.
But Raising Arizona is right there.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit better than Pig. I switched it around a little bit.
Oh no, Pig is a career-defining performance.
Yeah, Raising Arizona is a better movie though, but he's better in Pig.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I think I could go either way on the quality of Cage portion for Adaptation and Pig. Like, it's so close. I think there's more effort put into Adaptation.
Well, because he's playing two characters.
Yeah. Well, that and I just think there's more depth.
Well, let's get deep into it after this.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the B-movie battle sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the show. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the show and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the review concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. B-movie battle is now in effect.
Welcome to Movie Battle, episode 54. HCast 32, Adaptation 2002. I'm Kenny Quest.
Ticket.
I'm Jansen Carlin. The audio levels on that Nick, Share Coke with Nick thing it's a bit high. It scares me every fucking time it pops up. Like, God, fuck.
On my end, sounds fine.
Does it?
Like that and the Purge thing sound the exact same.
So, I mean, it probably sounds the same. I think that the Purge thing is a little bit eased in is what it is. And that's just like a slap in the face. I'm like, fuck.
Weird. Well, it wakes you up, if nothing else. Like
right.
Coke will.
I'm here.
All right, let's get into it. This is going to be an interesting one because we already did a positive Cage one last week. So what do we do this time?
2 weeks in a row, it's going to fuck us all up.
Yeah, Dick chose Adaptation. Adam chose The Rock. Jansen chose Lord of War, which you're doing next time, I believe.
I think so.
I think Lord of War's a good movie, too.
Yeah, Lord of War's good.
Lord of War's good.
And then it's the Vegas movies after that, right?
Andrew Nichols directed Lord of
He
War.
did Gattaca and Simone.
I like Gattaca. Simone is a piece of piling hot garbage.
Lord of War is a
did
solid
Jansen.
movie.
He did some other movie after. He did a movie after Warlord. Which was it? Lord of War. What, I don't know what it is.
Okay, I don't know, but yeah, the week after that, Jansen is A Score to Settle. And then after that is Honeymoon in Vegas and Leaving Las Vegas. I did that because I wanted to do those 2 Cage movies with a short episode, and the Creep Show episode we're going to watch is like
longer.
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I don't want to overwhelm everyone. So I kept a little short, but all right, Adaptation. I have been I secretly, every time I would do a poll, like the bingo hopper or the ping pong balls, when I threw those, I was hoping for Adaptation because this is my favorite Cage movie. And I'm kind of glad I did it later on because now I got all that perspective of these Cage movies I reviewed. And here we are. And this is my favorite Cage movie. It finally got released on Blu-ray.
Oh, man.
Oh, did it really?
By Shout Factory. And
really?
I just want to say, on the back it says, designed with the film lover in mind. Shout Select shines a light on films that deserve a spot on your shelf.
No
From
special features.
Classics to cult favorites to unheralded gems. Shout Select, it's all caps, celebrates the best in filmmaking, giving these movies the love and attention they deserve. Special features, original featurette, still gallery, theatrical trailer.
That's awful.
It's the worst Shout thing I've ever seen.
Shout!
And I watched that original featurette. It's 2 minutes. It's all of them filming in the swamp while it's like a music video. It's terrible.
It is Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze is great.
It was Weatherman's what he did after Lord of War. That's the one we were thinking of, by the way.
Oh, he didn't.
No, I'm talking about the director, not Nick Cage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Nick Cage.
No, I don't care what Nick Cage did.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Good.
Nick Cage would do a good movie and then 70 fucking terrible movies.
Especially back in 2002 when Taxi came around.
He pretty much
I feel like he's had some good runs.
This was the last good Cage for like till today, really, because Pig. Like this is it.
No, there's a
really
bunch in between.
Because I mean,
Joe's probably the one that's good.
Joe
and Mandy. Okay, Mandy. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So let's go back away.
There's a lot.
If we may.
It's like 4.
Adaptation. Right after Adaptation was Matchstick Men.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you don't give.
It's not bad. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll give you that. That's a good one.
And then he did Lord of War.
Yeah.
Okay.
National Treasures. You don't know where you want to.
It's money.
It's a blockbuster. Everybody loves it. But
Sorcerers or Perennis.
But there's movies that were bad that I love, like Wicker Man.
That's
And the next, he did a bunch of bad ones, and then he did Bad Lieutenant.
a great movie.
Great movie.
Kick Ass.
Kick Ass.
Great movie.
The Frozen Ground was actually surprisingly decent. Not a great movie. Not neither here nor there, but solid. Him and John Cusack again. I like The Croods. He did a voice in that.
Right. I heard The Croods is good. Yeah.
Croods
Never
is good.
seen it.
And then he did The Trust, one of my favorite Nick Cage movies. That's the one with Elijah Wood that I keep talking about.
Oh, okay.
He did Snowden, which is good. He did Army of One, was interesting. I don't know if you call that good or bad, but he makes some choices in that movie. He's fucking. Watch a trailer for that movie, Army of One.
I'll have to watch that one.
He sounds like he's severely on the spectrum. He's okay in Mom and Dad. Mandy's good. He's great in Mandy. Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse is good.
Yeah.
Out of Space is good. And then we're with Pig. So quite a few in there I mentioned.
What was the one that he did? Shit. It was recent.
Describe plot.
I don't remember. I heard Joe was good.
Apparently, it wasn't that decent.
Joe's really good. Joe's
supposed to be really good. I didn't see that one.
Joe, if you look at my rankings here, Joe's at the top, toward the top. Number 4 on the right, number 5 on the left. But Joe's the one he said was closest to his actual personality.
Right, yeah.
Was it Grand Isle?
Grand Isle looks like it would be garbage, and it's okay. Like, it's fine. He's fine in it. It's fine. It's weird. Not in the weird you'd expect. Not weird like they promised with Willy's Wonderland, where you're like, it's not weird, I'm just bored.
I think that's been the worst Nick Cage movie we've watched is Willy's Wonderland, because everything else hasn't been that awful.
We did Between Worlds. That was Jameson and Adam and I.
Stupid.
That was awful.
That was next level dog shit.
I missed that one.
Be grateful.
You didn't miss anything.
He's in the yard spraying himself with a hose. Like, well, he's gonna fucking
so I mean, like the greatest things that we got from that movie is just the ridiculousness of some of those scenes. Like, I think we found a GIF of that, him spraying himself with the hose, and I use that all the time now.
Wow,
it's what I call ridiculous Cage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You mean 95% of his career?
The plot is his wife is dead. What's her name from Run Lola Run? The German actress.
Yeah, Franca Ponita.
Her daughter's in an accident, and then Cage's wife's spirit takes over that girl. And then he fucks the mom, and then he starts fucking the girl on the side because it's the spirit of his wife. It's like a Lifetime movie meets Grindhouse. It's fucking awful.
So fucking weird.
We were trying to figure out who it was for the entire time. We have no answer for it.
There is no impact audience.
No. But Adaptation is just a solid movie. I love Spike Jonze. Even his weird performance in Three Kings. You ever see that movie, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Three Kings is great. That's why David O. Russell shows up in the dinner scene there with Meryl Streep and her husband.
Yeah, I was very skeptical when I didn't know where you felt about this movie before I started watching it today.
Yeah, I didn't.
Again, it was my first time watching it, but I was skeptical first 10, 15 minutes. I was like, where's this going? But honestly,
well, let's start at the very beginning. Sorry, Dick. What?
No, I was just saying the third act is when it all goes hilariously wrong.
But that's the point, and that's what
that's the point. Yeah.
And okay,
it's a mindfuck movie. It's good.
Well, everything's set up throughout the movie, and we'll get to that too.
I think personally, if you ask me, I think this is the best script ever written. That's just me.
I would say that, but yeah,
the best script ever
it's
written.
one of the top 50 for sure. Yeah.
No, but just in fact, how it was written, the way it's the most meta movie ever.
The forward thinkingness of everything. It's like breaking the fourth wall and also being meta at the same time, and then it's like one of those things like, oh, if I, when you get a thought and you're like, okay, I'm thinking about that thought. Now I'm thinking about that thought. Like, this is the movie of that, right?
when your movie says written by Charlie Kaufman and Donald Kaufman doesn't exist.
Yes.
So that's sort of the joke.
Right.
And he got nominated
doesn't
for
have
an
a
Oscar.
brother. Yes.
A person who does not exist was nominated for an Oscar. I love that about
for
this.
best screenplay. Yeah,
For best screenplay.
yeah,
Okay,
because
but
Hollywood's stupid.
The first two scenes of this movie, when I first turned this on, because at this point I had already watched and loved Being John Malkovich.
Yeah,
great movie. It's in case you haven't seen it, Spike Jonze movie before this. It's John Cusack and what's her name?
Connie Keener.
No, the other girl.
Cameron Diaz.
He's married to her. He's a puppeteer, which is funny because they have a line about puppets in this, and that was definitely a reflection of that movie. But he at work with Kathy Keener, he finds a doorway that goes into John Malkovich's head, and you can see what John Malkovich does. And when you're done, it empties you out on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie. It's ridiculous when you hear it, but it starts off. The very first scene of Adaptation is black screen, and just like 2 minutes of monologue by Nick Cage, like his thoughts going like, I'm so fat. Like maybe if I was less fat, I'd be happier. And it's just rambling and it's incoherent and it's all over the place. And it's thoughts that everyone has, right?
Sure.
Like maybe if I did like we're in the shower or when you're trying to sleep, you're having those thoughts. Like maybe like tomorrow I'm going to get up and work out. I'm going to run 5 miles. Maybe get into rock climbing, like all that shit. And then the next morning you completely forget about it.
You get a bagel.
It starts off with that. And then it cuts to the set of Being John Malkovich, and it's John Malkovich going like, "Everybody, shut up! Like we need to hurry, reduce time between takes because these guys are in rubber suits. It's fucking hot."
Yeah,
and he's fucking. And it cut. The camera rolls over, and you see Charlie Kaufman, played by Nick Cage, and he's just sitting there, and it tells you everything right then. Like he's there, and he's like, and you hear voiceover like, "Why am I here? I shouldn't be here." And he walks outside because he gets kicked off. Tells you so much right there.
Yeah.
And then, but the whole movie is let's get into the meta stuff, right? Because we're not getting the plot because everyone's seen the fucking movie if they're gonna watch a review about it. But
right,
the meta aspects of this is a real book. The Orchid Thief is a real book by what's her name?
Susan something.
Susan Orleans.
It's
a real book, and Charlie Kaufman was tasked with turning this book into a real movie, and he's like, how do I do this? And that's literally what the movie is. How do I turn this into a movie? And then you literally watch everything from her side, going from writing the book with Chris Cooper and doing that for the New Yorker, turning it into a book, having it get optioned by the underweight Tilda Swinton, and
the super hot Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. And then you see Charlie Kaufman's side of it too, which is like, oh, maybe I'll do that, and fuck it, I'll write myself in there, and like, and you just watch that madness, and you watch these two plot lines like fold over each other.
Self-indulgent. I've written my script. It's self-indulgent. It's narcissistic.
Yeah, the overlap was the ultimate point for me in the movie. I mean, it's like that. It's that climax spot of, oh shit, we finally got to the point where we recognize that we are in the movie that he wrote, and watching him figure it out. It's so good.
And I guess the joke of the movie, though, is that the worst script ever written by his brother was actually a movie that came out a couple years later. There's like a movie that's just the same plot, I guess, that
so came out. 2002, and then in 2006, this movie came out.
Identity? That's right, 3, yeah.
No, 3 is...
3. The name of the script.
Identity is also the same.
Yeah.
And has John Cusack in it.
Yeah.
Funny. I like Identity.
I don't think I've ever watched it. I've never seen Identity.
It's good, but it's enjoyable.
I've never seen
it. Ray Liotta. It's got Amanda Peet.
It's got a huge cast. Yeah.
The guy from Fernest Dawn that runs Billy's World of Liquor. What the fuck?
Yeah. He was in Deadwood. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a great actor. He's in
Ray Liotta's in it.
Yeah. Who's that guy that's from Dust Till Dawn? If you have it pulled up, Chance.
It's oh shit, I know his name. It's
escaping me. But that guy is a great actor who does not ever get mentioned. So that's why I want to say his
John
name.
Hawkes.
John Hawkes, yeah.
John Hawkes, yeah.
He's great. He's in Winter's Bone. He's in that movie where Helen Hunt gets naked completely.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
That's Sessions. That's a great movie because he plays a paraplegic in that. And he's fucking great.
But his scene in the opening in From Dusk Till Dawn is
Yeah.
really short, but he's great. Like, I never fucking just screaming at them. I never mouth the words "help me." What does it fucking matter? You got about 2 fucking seconds to live.
Pruitt Taylor Vincent. He always plays such a fucking crazy character.
Yeah, he's so, to spoil that movie if I could.
Go ahead.
The whole movie's in his mind, and he's got like the crazy eye, you know.
From Dusk Till Dawn? Oh.
No,
I thought there was going to be another portion of Adaptation where he ends up being himself, his brother, and the writer of the book, kind of like the screenplay for 3 is supposed to be.
You'd have to. The whole point, the whole joke of the movie is the McKee session, because Roger McKee's a real screen writer guru guy,
Mhm.
and it's funny because every Hollywood writer would say, "Don't listen to McKee. Fuck you. That's cheap. That cheapens us all."
Mhm.
But yeah, he goes to the Robert McKee because, oh no, you gotta go. He's great. He's just Donald loves Robert McKee. No, I said I gotta use this for my script. It really worked. And it's just, oh god, so funny. But Brian Cox is Robert McGee in the movie, and he's so fucking funny. And just goes, use voiceover, I'll fucking kill you. Don't use voiceover.
They're not rules, they're principles.
And if you use a Deus Ex Machina, God help you. And that's exactly what happens at the end of this movie, is the Deus Ex Machina of the alligators killing.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Chris Cooper.
Fuckfish.
It's okay. There's so much in this movie to get to, and that's why it's hard to talk about, because it's all over the place on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah,
to go off what Jansen was saying, it was the characters of the 3. That's supposed to be Chris Cooper's character, Meryl Streep, and Donald are all supposed to be the same character, and it's all in Charlie's mind.
See, I was thinking it was going to be Charlie, Donald, and the writer, Meryl Streep.
Charlie exists in real life and it's writing it, so
right, that makes sense.
3 people would be the same character, because none of them, they're all kind of made up, because they're none of them. Well, one of them is really made up. The other 2 are like severe fantasy versions of the actual people.
That's the thing. I wonder if they were kind of mad because, like, she's a married woman, like, and this movie portrays her as a drug addict.
Well,
she's an awful bitch.
If you go on IMDb, it says like she. Sorry, Jansen, 1 second.
No, go ahead.
It says she was like, she got the script and she read it, and they're like, do we have your permission to option the rest of this? And she's like, fuck no. And then she took a minute and she's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. And then they made it and she watched it and she's like, oh, I loved it. Because
she at first was
the only thing that turned her around was seeing how Charlie Coffin wrote himself and going like, because Charlie Coffin's a good looking dude. He's fine. He's not bald. He's not fat.
He's not a good looking guy.
He's fine. He's not.
He looks average. He's not deep. He's not handsome.
He's not fat. He's not bald. He's
not.
But he's not any of these attributes that he gave himself in the script. So she was like, okay, so that's what we're doing, like a heightened.
That's the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the joke. Is everyone is like the most extremely terrible version of themselves.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's what turned her around on that. She's like, oh.
But when you fucking drug addict.
Yeah. Fuck
you, fatty.
So my one question is, because I obviously I haven't read the book. I don't know the actual story of what happened with this movie, and I'm assuming you guys might know more than myself. But the third act of the movie is just all fiction.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that, because Donald, his brother, who doesn't exist in real life, but Donald Coffin lives with him, is his identical twin. He's trying to get into screenwriting just like his brother, and he's writing this terrible script called 3 with all these characters. This killer
called the 3, isn't it?
Yeah, and the girl, who are all the same people. And Charlie's such a dick about it at the beginning, where he's like, you can't do that. No, it's not going to work. And then he's like, because Donald at one point goes, this isn't the one he uses here, but it's the one he uses later with Maggie Gyllenhaal, where he's like, I got an idea of like man versus machine, where the cops chasing him in a car and he's on a horse. So it's like, and he's like, sounds great. Can't wait to watch it. And she's like, I knew he'd love it. But he finally stops saying, no, you can't do that. He just goes, yeah, go for it. He just lets him fly.
Yeah.
Right. Because at that point, he's finally figured out what he's going to do with this movie, right? Previously, in the original or the first portions of the movie, he still doesn't know where he's headed with all this. So like now he's got that off his back.
Yeah. At first he wasn't like as invested in this book as turning it into a script as that. And then eventually he's like, that's all I can think about. And he starts blowing off shit just to do it as an excuse. And then he starts really getting into it. Like, how the fuck do I do? Like, realization sets in. I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. And I picture Charlie Kaufman literally trying to do this, going, I have no fucking idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go crazy with it. Fuck it. And that's when he came up with this. But so I think he just goes, Donald, I don't care. I got so much on my plate right now. Just do it. Yeah, sounds great. Like, it doesn't matter.
So my curiosity leads me to wanting to know from Charlie himself, like, okay, where did the inspiration for the brother come from then? Because that's the one piece in all of this that, like, it adds so much to the story, but we know it didn't happen in real life. So where did that come from?
I'm thinking that
is it his part of his internal, like, I wish I could be like this type of thing?
No, I think it's the joke is every bad idea for a movie, put it in a movie. So you have the voiceover, you have the plot twist where it's an action movie, you have the twin character, because movies have twins, usually stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the joke is that he's playing two characters and that's self-indulgent. Just like the writer says, I wrote myself the script was self-indulgent, narcissistic. Well, actors, same thing. You're playing two different characters to show off.
So really, it's a product of a culmination of saying, I'm going to do everything you're not supposed to do in a movie. Is where that character comes from.
It's another layer of the meta-ness of this whole thing.
Well,
okay.
The entire Donald character represents what you're supposed to do in a movie. Like Hollywood. He's Hollywood. Donald is Hollywood.
Right.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Which is, he's that voice in your head that is like, you need to make money on this. Like, do this to sell it. But he's trying to like push him away. And eventually at the end, he calls Donald and brings him over because nothing's happening with his screenplay. And he's like, Donald, I need to come to New York and figure this out. And that's when the Hollywood aspect of the movie comes in.
Yeah.
Because that's when the Deus Ex Machina comes in, and that's when like everything changes and it goes schlocky and it goes.
It turns hilarious.
Ron Livingston shows up.
No, that was earlier, but he invites Hollywood into the script, and that's when it becomes like this cliche ending.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the point of the Donald character.
So how great is that one scene though when they're running away from, they're running away getting shot at Cooper shooting him, and he's talking about the girl that made fun of him. Like he goes, I loved her so much. She's so pretty. Donald, Donald. They laughed at you. You didn't see it. He goes, oh, I knew they made fun of me. It was a joke, and it didn't matter because I loved her. You know, you couldn't take that from me, not even her. And it's like such a sad moment. Oh my God, this is heartbreaking. Well, and then he dies.
But I think that shows you the true genius of it too. Is because like he took something that had no bearing in real life, had no bearing in the actual story that he was trying to write, and he worked it in there and actually gave it some sort of meaning.
And if you look back, like the Hollywood, if you look at Donald as Hollywood, it also has value of like, it's not all complete schlock selling out. There's a little bit of good in there. They can't take that away from you if you write a good script.
Sure.
If they make it
well, and I think that's one thing we can take away from Nicolas Cage himself is that there's a lot of schlock that he puts out, but he's taking it all in stride because he just wants to work and do stuff, and he's getting away with it.
It could also be the trope in movies where the character talks about his personal life, and the next scene he gets killed, because that happens in all those cop movies and war movies. I got a girl back home. I'm gonna marry her as soon as I get off this mission. Ah!
I'm retiring in 2 weeks.
Ah!
Last day on the job. I'm gonna retire. Oh God! Tell my wife
No, Mendoza.
Well, and they added that little schlocky piece in there too, didn't they? Because he's like talking at the end, and then he stops talking, and like we don't hear what he says. And he's like, "What? What did you say?"
He starts singing and brings him back to life for a second.
And
I love even that itself is a joke, making fun of how movies do that at the end with the music. We start playing a pop song, and it's like he starts singing the pop song to him, and he's like, like to wake him up like with an audience. So like, literally everything is a setup and making fun of scripts.
Which is the song at the end of the song plays at the end of the movie too.
There isn't
So
a
happy
entire
together.
character here devoted to making fun of Hollywood scripts.
Yeah.
That is intense.
Well, I like to bring it back to the point of like Shaun of the Dead and
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz. It's like you talk about how there's a setup and a payoff. That's the entire movie of this too. Like there's the entire first part of the movie is setups for all the payoffs at the end, because he talks about all the bullshit that they shouldn't do and then they do it and it just works.
Even if it doesn't work on a meta nature, like the stuff with Donald and when he reveals to him that you can't take that away from me stuff. It also works on a character level because you could tell he's never bothered to have this conversation with Donald before. He's always been so in his own head, being an asshole to everyone.
Right.
And thinking he's great, while at the same time really thinking he's a piece of shit.
Right.
That he's never bothered to talk to his brother about.
Well,
this.
he's always been so self-consumed with what other people think. He's never stopped to ask them what they do with that, right? And I think that's the lesson learned.
And in reality, what you find out, like in real life, is nobody's thinking about you.
Right.
Nobody cares. Like they have their own shit to deal with, and
100%.
why bother giving a shit? And Charlie's so in his own head, and by the time at the end when he's like, "I love you," and he tells that woman after he kisses her, and she's like, "Why now? I'm in a relationship." He's like, "I love you." He finally realizes, like, because of what Donald said, the script works in two ways, like making fun of stuff, being meta, and you know, as far as the characters go, that's why I said it's one of the best scripts, because it works in so many different ways, and the way it's written is just so fascinating to me. I could talk about it for 12 hours.
I think it won the Oscar for best script, right?
No, it didn't win. It got nominated.
I think it won.
No, Cage also got nominated, didn't win. Chris Cooper won.
I think it won best script. I'll look that up. Hold on, let's see. I'm pretty sure that won. I know Charlie Kaufman won an Oscar.
2002, Gosford Park.
Ew.
3, Talk to Her.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing about it, though, like we're talking about the meta and how there's something for everyone. And I think that's really a key point, too. It's like whether or not you pick up on all that shit, at the end of the day, just for the normal person that just enjoys a good movie, like this is a solid movie. If you just pay attention long enough, right? Not sitting on your phone, you just actually zone into the movie.
So best adapted script would be A Beautiful Mind 2002 and then 2003 Pianist. So
the Pianist.
Did he win for best screenplay
Pianist
for being
so
John Malkovich?
fucking long.
No, he got nominated. I don't think he's ever won.
I could have sworn he won an Oscar for something.
He might have won for Dangerous Mind, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Maybe. Let me look him up. Hold on. What's his awards?
Charlie Kaufman Oscar, Best Original Screenplay 2005, and that was for... Oh, God, why doesn't it just tell me right off the bat?
Christ's sake. There we go.
He won for...
Oh, it's Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, that was his. He went for that one. That's right.
I will say this. As far as Charlie Kaufman movies go, which I'm a huge Charlie Kaufman fan, if you can't tell. Eternal Sunshine is his best movie. It's his best script. Or not best script, but best movie. I've liked Anomalisa. It's okay. And then I stopped. I didn't watch whatever that is.
New York, yeah.
I didn't watch that. And then I didn't watch
Synecdoche.
Jody. You ever hear that? You ever hear that?
Jody. Yeah, I remember that.
Jody. I sent you that a while ago.
Yeah. Synecdoche.
Yeah, it's. I never actually.
Did he? He didn't even write Synecdoche. Did he? Yeah, he did write it. Never mind.
He wrote it. He wrote everything. But here's the pronunciation on. I love it so much because at first I was like, "That's not how you pronounce," and I realized it's just pronounces things wrong. So Dick, listen to this.
This is so good.
Sign a kind of doty chody. Sign Nina kind of doty chody.
Sign Nina kind of doty chody.
There's some really good ones. Do another one.
Dance and I were just sending these back and forth for a while. But yeah, that one's my favorite.
Sign Nina kind of doty chody.
Sign Nina kind of doty chody.
So stupid.
No, that's definitely my favorite one. There's some good ones, but that was definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
What's funny is Charlie Kaufman wrote Get a Life, The Edge, The Trouble with Larry, Dana Carvey Show, and Ned and Stacy.
Well, I'm assuming it's more of like a script doctor thing, and he just got the credit at the end because I don't think he wrote The Edge, like the full script.
No, The Edge is the show.
Oh, I was thinking the
Edge
Bear movie.
No, the Bear
Alec
that was
Baldwin.
written by David Mamet,
Yeah,
which is
of all people.
a great movie.
It's fine. It's a fine movie. Don't
It's a
call
ridiculous
it a great movie.
It's a great, just for the performances of
Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin battling the bear. No,
it's hilarious. I love
not a great movie.
I'm gonna kill the bear. That's right, because I'm gonna kill the motherfucker.
All right, so who haven't we talked about? The women. There's definitely we need to talk about the women and his sexual fantasies.
The women.
His whole character is way worse than he is in real life, but it's like he wrote his deepest fears about himself into a character.
Yeah,
that's why I love Cage's character so much. And then it's the point of Donald, if you're not looking at him as Hollywood scripts, if you just look at him as a character, is just like, that's who I should be. Because Donald is super positive, and he's like, he gets along with
outgoing.
People. He's like, it's basically Charlie's thoughts in the beginning. This is why it's great, because you don't see Donald at the beginning. And it's him going, I should go over there and kiss her. I should kiss her.
Yeah.
We could tell our kids about this moment, and he just drives away.
Yep.
And then, but that's what Donald is. He's that guy who just does that. He takes home Maggie Gyllenhaal, like second one he meets her on the set of Being John Malkovich. He just fucks the makeup girl, and he's in a relationship now. And it's like Charlie saying, "This is what I want to be." So there's two layers to everything in the script. That's why, personally, that's why I say it's up there. But the women in Charlie's life, the first girl, the British girl, I don't what the fuck, what's the actress's name? Anybody know?
She's in a lot of stuff. I forget her name.
She is. I just can't think of her. Cara Seymour.
Sure.
Amelia. He goes on a couple dates with her. He keeps not kissing her, and she's just like, all right, bye. And he's like, you want to go to a orchid show in Santa Barbara? She's like, no, I'm busy. And he fucks that up. And then he goes home and he masturbates thinking of her. And then why the fuck? I have so many questions about this movie. Why is, what's her name? Pam, is her name Pam Grier? No, Pam Grier is luckily. Judy Greer. Why does Judy Greer get naked in this? I didn't know.
I was going to say, this movie's the best thing about this movie is Judy Greer shows her breasts.
I think there's a lot left.
I've seen the movie like 20 times. I did not expect that.
I think there's a lot left on the cutting room floor, and this is what really happened. Because there's even like Steven Tobolowsky. It says scenes deleted for him, and he's great. I love him, but I feel like there's got to be some stuff that wasn't in there. Maybe there's some deleted scenes somewhere that we could take a look at.
That'd be great to watch, but unfortunately, Shout Factory is unnecessary.
Sucks.
Shout Factory told you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Steven Tobolowsky is supposed to play another Ranger along with Jim Beaver, who I love. He's so great.
Factory 112, so they know how to release movies. This one, fucking nothing on it. Yeah, Steven Tobolowsky is great. He's also in Memento, one of my second favorite movie.
Good movie.
Peter Jason's in it. John Carpenter alum. He's in fucking every John Carpenter movie, pretty much.
He's in a lot of movies, period.
A lot of them. But Doug Jones, I don't remember Doug Jones in this movie. Do you? Augustus Margary?
Doug Jones?
Doug Jones is in this movie. I don't remember him in it.
In Adaptation?
Adaptation.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, even the title itself works in two ways. So everything in this script works in two ways. So Adaptation, they talk about like the flowers adapting and moving on. Mm-hmm. And they show like the beginning of the history of the world, and they go forward. Even before Nick Cage comes up with that idea. And then they talk about the flowers adapting and moving on, and how the bees are perfect for it, and they fuck them and all that sort of stuff. But then also it works as adaptation because he's adapting a book into a screenplay. So it works in both ways as well. Just everything in this movie just clicks for me. This is one of my favorite movies. So
it's got lots of layers.
Yeah, lots of layers.
Lots of layers. It's wonderful. It's like a wonderful episode of The Night Gallery.
You go fuck yourself.
I wanted to get a reaction like that.
He also has a masturbation sequence with Tilda Swinton and
Who would not?
Me.
Because she's amazing. She's beautiful.
I would not.
Oh, Jansen. Sorry. She looks like an alien fucked an ant.
Thank you. Ant. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think she's ugly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
I don't think she's ugly either, but she is a very niche group of people's type of woman.
Oh yeah, right here.
Apparently, Dick's.
Dick also is in the foot fetish, so he loved when Meryl Streep snorted that
No,
shit.
I don't like feet.
held up
That's
her feet.
gross. Feet's gross. Yeah, and I don't like Meryl Streep, so she's grosser.
I'm going with Judy Greer on this out of the entire cast of female characters.
100%.
I would go with the British girl. Actually,
She's second.
I thought she was cute. Yeah,
She's second.
Judy Greer or the makeup girl? What's her name?
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like a fucking 95-year-old woman now.
No, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, I'm talking about it. I'm talking about in prime.
Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like the comic book writer who wrote Watchmen, Alan Moore. If you look at her, like her eyes and his eyes are exactly the same, and they have the same facial structure. Only he has a giant beard. They look exactly the same.
It's the same genetics as Jake, but Jake has gotten better looking every year, and she has turned in.
He's fucking handsome.
Yeah.
She looks like she's gonna offer an apple to Snow White.
That thing under her nose, that whatever the fuck this is called, just keeps getting longer and longer and longer.
Remember that show we just watched with that the D character, the tranny character, going to go eat the junk of that guy? Jake Gyllenhaal all the way.
Yeah.
Do that to Jake in a second.
I'm looking Maggie Gyllenhaal 2021. See what we get.
Yeah, and Alan Moore. Do a comparison. Alan Moore and Maggie Gyllenhaal have the same eyes. It's gross.
It just.
I was in the movie Secretary. Oh my god! It's gross.
God.
You're not the only one who lost everything, Harvey.
She's Two-Faced now.
She's
Yeah.
Two-Faced.
All right. I don't want to just make fun of actresses all day, but
I do.
So he masturbates to everyone, and then the one time Donald comes in the room, he's like, "Fuck, knock!
Leave me alone, Donald. What do you want?"
He probably wants to keep going, and he's like, his brother just jumps on the bed. He's like, "Fine, tell me about your stupid screenplay." It's called The Three.
The three. So I'm having I want to do a motif.
Yeah, I'm going with the teeth. Broken mirrors.
Broken
You know,
mirrors.
shattered reflection of my characters. Like,
Broken psyche.
that's why I say that character is just there to represent like Hollywood cliches and like you have to do it this way. Well, he says in order. I love when he keeps going. Well, Bob says you have to know the rules to break the rules, and Bob said, and he's my favorite line in the movie is, "You sound like you're in a cult," and he just keeps walking in.
Yeah.
Bob would say that.
I think that line has been sampled in other movies too.
It's great.
It sounds really familiar.
Jansen, I am glad you like this movie because
It was great. I really enjoyed it.
you're hard
Like,
to-
don't get me wrong. Like, I was skeptical at the beginning. I was like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if this is one that Phoenix has liked. I've never talked to him, so I'm curious to find out what it's about. But it ended up being really great.
Yeah, I had this on DVD for the longest time, and I'm so glad to get rid of it. And I'm so glad to have it on Blu-ray because it looked great watching it on TV. Because I usually just watch the file I have, like you guys do.
Yeah.
But this one I actually threw in the Blu-ray and bothered to watch it. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, I got lazy. It's on Prime right now, so I just watched it downstairs instead.
Well, it's gonna be a better version than what I sent you. So I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I might not have liked it as much. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to quality. So.
I always think I am, and then 12 minutes into the movie, I'm not even thinking about it. It's like all grainy and like we watched some.
I mean, it really depends. Like, it depends on how bad it is, right? I mean, if it's like 720p, fine. But if we're talking like anything below that, I might have an issue with it. Yeah,
480 missing frames, skips.
Yeah, like when we have to watch an episode like we did tonight, like it skips because of connection, and that drives me nuts. So it kind of takes a point value off of it for me,
which is unfortunate. But I don't even know, so that sucks. But
I know.
Yeah, adaptation. It's interesting.
What else is there to say?
Well, Brian Cox. Let's talk about Brian Cox for a minute. Brian Cox is the writing teacher, the writing guy.
Great actor.
A real life character who suggested Brian Cox play him. Which I'm glad he did because Brian Cox is fucking awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
He's only in a couple minutes and he steals those scenes.
Yeah.
Doesn't he do that in everything he's in though?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's just one of those like big boisterous characters that just like puts everything he has into it. It makes you really
tell
feel
he's a
it.
stage actor the way he talks. Everything is screamed.
Well, and he's
Without
full on monologuing in those scenes where he's on the stage too, like, and it's great. You're like totally believe him. You're like, oh man, this guy feels this way.
And I love the fact that you don't hear him. You see him monologuing, and it's all Nick Cage voiceover to get to that one joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just Brian Cox got in the background and just talking with no audio. You hear Nick Cage going, "What the fuck do I write this thing? Like, I need to get the fuck out of it. Like, why the fuck am I here? I don't belong here. Like, why the fuck am I in this writing class? I'm such a hack." He's like, "God help you if you use voiceover in your movie." Like, silence. And then Nick Cage is like, "What do you do if you need to adapt something and it's nothing happens because it's about real life, so nothing happens?" And Brian Cox just goes on like a 7-minute, tearing him down. Like if you don't think anything happens in real life, then you're a fucking idiot. Like people are murdered every day. Babies, kids watch their mothers get killed. War, famine, like genocide. Like if you don't think things happen in real life, you're wasting my fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
He just rails on him, and then Nick Cage goes outside and is like, "What you just said didn't affect my script, but shook me to my core
as a human."
Yeah. And he just goes, "Yeah, it'll do." Like you can tell, he's like, "Yeah, it'll do that."
He's like, "Yep, have a good night."
Yeah, like, no, we need to talk.
It's like, wait, I need to talk to you more.
And I love the fact that he reads. You can tell he read some of the book to him. He's like, page. He's like, and that's it. He's like, yeah. He's like, whoa. You can kind of. He wants to go like, "Oh, you're right. Nothing happens in there. No character movement. No changes. Nothing happens."
Yeah. This should have been.
You have to invent some shit in there, and that's why we get that third act.
Yeah, you have to invent something.
Yeah,
and that is the twist. Again, meta. That's the twist, and
that's when he goes back and calls Donald and be like,
"Oh." But the best part of that whole third act though is Chris Cooper. I think I'm going to go in this porno business on the internet. These guys love naked chicks. It don't matter if they're fat, ugly, skinny. They like it all.
Yeah, and she's like, "Great. So I haven't seen a ghost yet." And he's like, "Oh, you want me to take you out? Yeah, I'll take you out to the swamp. No big deal." He takes you to the Florida swamp to go find the ghost orchid.
Yeah,
they're out there, and she immediately loses interest.
Yeah,
she just immediately is like, "I don't give a fuck about this."
Yeah,
and then he gets lost, and she's just like, "Can we just go?" And he starts going like, "You fucking bitch! You're leeching on me like everyone else, and get your own fucking life."
You lost your own fucking life, and you can't have one because you fucking New York bitch.
Yeah, we haven't talked to Chris Cooper that much. We need to because he's great in this movie.
Well, he won the Oscar, and that's for sure. Yeah.
Apparently, Susan Orlean was supposed to be in the movie, but her scenes got deleted too.
Yeah, I wonder what
Shout Factory could.
It just says woman in supermarket.
If you look up how long this movie was edited for, you'll never guess. A year and a half.
Jesus.
Wow.
It's the longest movie that studio, whatever studio it is, had a movie in editing bay. It's crazy.
Shit.
That's nutty.
There must have been issues with it where they're trying to figure it out. Like, what the fuck is this movie?
It's a weird movie to adapt to, so it's got to be a weird movie to edit. Because you're like, how much do we do? Like, so
how much is too much? How much is not enough?
Apparently, Stephen Tobolowsky had a great contract where he's like, I get credited no matter what. But
I'll get paid.
Chris Cooper is like this. He's supposed to be like he looks like a loser on the outside because he's missing his teeth and he's got a
genius.
fan. He doesn't have money. He's dirty, but he's got all these ideas and he's like a really smart guy. Like he genuinely is, and he keeps shouting all this wisdom.
He's got money. Like he has somebody, he just loses it. Like he can make money no matter what he does. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about that shit. That's not his thing.
But I'm saying, like, if you're a woman looking at him from, like, a woman from New York, like Meryl Streep is.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you're looking at him like, that's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Can we talk about for a second how this woman, Susan Orlean, lucked out with getting Meryl Streep as her actor? Like,
that's probably
Susan Orlean is a fucking hag, if you look her up.
No.
You mean Meryl Streep?
Well, I mean, Meryl Streep may not be the most best looking female on the planet, but
I'm sorry, I have an animosity toward Meryl Streep. I can't stand them.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I love all of her work or anything, but she is revered in the industry, so I can say that.
Yes, so was Harvey Weinstein. I mean,
I'll go in the middle of you guys.
I don't think you should equate those two things together.
Sure, you can. You can totally do that because Hollywood is full of shit.
I'd fuck Meryl Streep.
Oh, sure, who wouldn't? But I'm not. I would enjoy it.
Oh, I would.
I would enjoy it. I would be like, oh, I think you overact now, and you're the same person in every movie. Okay.
She's so good of an actress that maybe I am now. I don't know.
Just fucking her, and you don't even know it.
Yeah. She could be playing girlfriend. I don't know.
Listen, Phoenix.
I love this role for Chris Cooper, by the way. Like, I feel like everything I've ever seen him in, he plays like some hard ass or some like really like strung out character that's just like doing his thing. And I don't even see him in this character. I just see the character, which was really cool because I feel like he just plays himself in a lot of the stuff that I've watched him in.
My name is Dave. This is my partner. What you selling? Oh, no, he's my partner in life. The faggots really know how to throw it in your face. That's on American Beauty.
Oh yeah,
Chris Cooper. When he played a bigot, a closeted homosexual Nazi bigot.
Yeah, he's
kills
the part of that movie.
Who shoots Kevin Spacey in the back of the head. Spoiler alert.
Because Chris Cooper's gay.
Yes, that's the twist.
That's the whole thing about the movie.
That's the most overrated Oscar winner ever.
Yes.
And I
Crash.
think everybody's figured it out.
Crash or that?
Both. I think everybody.
I like Crash. I could watch Crash.
I hate Crash.
American Beauty, I can't even watch. I'm like, this is so fucking.
American Beauty sucks.
How did that win Best Oscar or Best Picture? Beyond fucking me.
Because nothing else was out.
There we go.
What is this?
He
should naked picture of Meryl Streep.
No, it's Susan Orlean. Like,
she looks like a girl that read a book about flowers. That's all I can really say.
Exactly.
Yeah, Meryl Streep is definitely way more attractive, but
right. I mean, look at the picture on the far right. They hold them side by side.
But it does go into characters because when I think about this movie, because I haven't seen this movie in 5-6 years, but I used to watch it all the time. And I forgot. I remember the part about her, they basically make the plant, the orchid, the ghost orchid, into a drug that you could snort. And she apparently becomes addicted to it. I remember that. But what I forgot is it cuts back to like now after she's written the book and Charlie's adapted the screenplay and he goes to meet her. He meets Tilda Swinton at a bar and he's like, oh, no, I can't do that because I'm writing this book, writing the screenplay. So I got to go by. Ditches her, goes to New York because he's like, I need to talk to her. Gets there. Bails on her. He's in the elevator with her and just goes, no. Gets too shy. I love when he's like, and she's like, elevator. And then he's like, he talks to Donald about it. And then Donald goes in his stead and meets her.
I'll pretend to be you.
Yeah, and he's like, here's the last. He's like doing this thing.
Yeah.
He's like overly confident and like trying to be sleuthy, even though he's not at all. He's like, do you still talk to LaFair, whatever his name is? And she's like, no, when you write about him and you don't really need it. When you write about him for so long, you get attached. But no, I'm not in love with him. And he goes back to the hotel and he goes, that bitch is lying.
Who would you have dinner with? Who would you want to have dinner with?
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that. That bitch is lying.
They always say Lincoln and Jesus.
That's Einstein and Jesus. And then they decide to go to Florida because they're watching her with binoculars and they see her laptop and it says or computer and it says flight to Miami tonight. And then she hides her crying from her husband, who's played by director. What the fuck was his name? What director?
It's the guy who directed LA Confidential.
Curtis Hanson.
Curtis Hanson,
yeah, Curtis Hanson. There's a lot of directors in this, but she is going to Florida. They go all the way to Florida to Miami with her, and then Donald goes to sneak up to the house after they see both of them go in, Chris Cooper and her. And then Charlie's like, no, I'll go. And he goes in there and sneaks. Of course, he fucks it up and gets spotted and gets caught. And this is where the detachment from reality really becomes apparent because she immediately is like, she's high because she's just snorting a flower. And she's like, we got to kill him. Like, we got it. And he's like, what? Chris Cooper's like, what the fuck? Why? She's like, this will ruin me. And Chris Cooper in reality is like, he's fully nude going, I don't give a shit. She's like, that's the guy writing the script about me. And she goes, oh, nice to meet you, man. He's fully nude, just this dong in his face, meeting him. He should have shook his dick. That would have been better. But I think that's the attachment from reality. Jansen, your mic's off.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I'm confused by this. I was looking at the cast for it. It says John Cusack uncredited as the rest of in part of the rest of the cast. What was he? Another cut scene?
No,
No,
Did I
he's in the
miss something?
beginning when they're doing being John Malkovich.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
he's it's the same character, the same scenes from being John Malkovich with a was it 7.5 floor?
Yeah.
It's like this half floor. That's why
Yeah,
they're all like crunched, squished down.
sitting on the ground and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got the ponytail.
I guess they said in the making of that movie, everybody had fucking back problems after that shooting those scenes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it sounds funny in reality, then you do it.
Hell.
So reality is definitely different than writing it, and you're like, oh yeah, everyone's because days are so long in those, and there's a lot in the opening, the first half of that movie in that set. So
yeah, well, you're asking for a lot in that.
I think that's why they had that old guy sitting a lot.
Yeah,
He's just sitting there in a chair. He's like, no,
fuck you,
not doing that. I'm 90. He didn't. He died shortly after.
Listen, Charlie, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. But yeah, no, it's a great movie, great meta film. It's one of the shit. I mean, like this movie will never be made again. Like a movie like this is never going to get made again.
Well, it shouldn't.
Well, I mean, it's too weird. I mean, it's just
It shouldn't have got made the first time.
You're never
reality.
it's like being John Malkovich is such a weird movie.
Yeah.
Like the only reason he got this made is because being John Malkovich, and then
I mean, nobody is greenlighting this type of meta shit anymore. It's all blockbuster bullshit now.
Well, it's not even that anymore because blockbusters can't even make money anymore. It's like,
well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Right
it's all that big Hollywood shit that.
And you got
Free Guy is the most meta thing.
Well, the big time
Yeah.
franchise movies are probably over because the studios can't afford to pay it out anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney, which is unheard of. That's like the biggest "what the fuck are you thinking" moment in history. You do not sue the studio.
I
I
say
hate Scarlett
every time Disney
Johansson.
gets sued, fuck them.
Well, no, but I'm just saying you just don't do that. You're going to ruin your career. Your career's over. You don't fucking bite the hand that feeds you. You don't. They gave her. She's made millions upon millions of dollars playing this character, and because they waited the last minute to make her own standalone movie after her character's dead, and what the fuck do you think is going to happen? It's going to be a huge hit. Nobody cares. Your character's dead.
Nobody cared when your character was alive. Let's talk about
that's
that.
the thing. You're lucky to have that. And she wanted to pay. She wanted the payout deal like Warner Brothers did, but Warner Brothers lost $1 billion because they had to pay out all the actors for having to be on streaming. They fucked up. So I mean, it's bad. It's a bad place right now. Hollywood is in trouble. It's not good. I think
she watched the movie and then went, "Oh, this character has way more screen time. She's way better than I am in this movie. Fuck, I'm suing them." Like,
why is Zach Braff's girlfriend better than me? Yeah, Florence Pugh.
That Black Widow was so forgettable.
What was it? What did we watch?
Oh, we watched Adaptation.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Black Adaptation. Number one.
How do you guys feel about this? Do you think this is accurate?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, like I was saying before, I think before we started on the quality side, I'd say it's pretty interchangeable for 1 and 2 for me.
I think The Weatherman is so high on your lists, you should have them be on the fucking bottom.
No, but look at the ones under it.
Yeah, I know. Those are better movies.
No.
Con Air is better than The Weatherman 100 times.
Con Air has...
I would say Con Air is fucking 100 times better than The Weatherman.
Well, what would I rather watch? Con Air. What's a better movie? Not Con Air.
Con Air.
Con Air is enjoyably... It's stupid. It's real stupid.
They call her Camel Toe, David.
Oh, speaking of Con Air, we got a Con Air reunion here because Malkovich, Cusack, and Cage are all in this movie.
Holy shit, you're right.
Cusack and Cage are in like 3 or 4 movies together.
Too bad Cole Meany wasn't in there.
Yeah, because they're in Con Air. They're in this. They're both in Frozen Ground. They're both in Arsenal, which is not a good movie.
No, John Cusack is also Redbox material now. He does 10 movies a year in Bulgaria.
Nick Cage has actually surpassed John Cusack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
With theatrical releases.
I would say Nick Cage has surpassed for Travolta, Cusack, Who else would be? I'd say Nick Cage is kind of on top right now with
Danny
Pig.
Glover.
Oh, absolutely, way bigger than Danny.
Hold on,
Glover.
I know,
Perry.
Phoenix. I know
Way
you haven't
bigger.
seen it yet, but I just need to sidebar for just a minute and talk about how the Suicide Squad, how fucking perfect Sylvester Stallone's role in that movie is for how dumb he is.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's so great. I love the Suicide.
It was
Suicide Squad
so
great.
perfect.
Suicide Squad was a great movie.
It was good.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, you got to watch
I
it tonight.
honestly didn't realize it was out.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Yeah, it came out last Tuesday, didn't it?
Came out Thursday night. Yeah,
Oh, Thursday.
it's fucking hilarious.
It is miles better than the first one.
The first
Oh,
one
yeah,
is
yeah.
borderline watchable.
First one's garbage. This
This
one,
music video, and then it turns into some weird
Yeah. This one actually has a real plot that's like fun and
the first 5 minutes. If you're not laughing, you're not on our side. Okay, so the part TDK. What's that mean? Why is your name TDK?
it means TDK.
It means TDK. So your name is just letters? All our names are letters, stupid. Oh, it's funny.
There's some underknown actors in that first scene too that I was surprised to see having that role, but then I quickly realized why they were in that role.
They're all friends of Jimmy Gunn.
James
Nathan
Gunn has
Fillion
a lot of friends.
Well, that
Nathan
and
and
with
Michael
what
Rooker,
happens
yeah.
in that first scene too.
Yeah, I noticed everyone from Guardians of the Galaxy just shifted over to DC to this movie because of him.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like Sean,
When
his
is that?
brother, Michael Rooker. and
Well,
then
Michael Rooker's in every one of
Stallone.
Gunn's movies. He's in every one.
What
And
is-
so's Paul Henry. What's his name? Greg Henry.
Greg Henry.
Greg Henry. Greg Henry. He's the guy from Payback and Slither. He's the blonde guy. He's in Guardians. He's in all of James Gunn movies. He's a good actor too. He's great in
You know, I've
Payback.
never seen Slither.
Slither's great.
I want to watch.
Slither's awesome. Slither's a great movie. A lot of fun. It's very funny.
Does anybody else hate Viola Davis?
No,
No, she's great.
Okay,
what the hell's wrong with you?
just don't like her. No, it has nothing to do with that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Greg Henry. Okay, I know who that is.
Yeah, Greg Henry. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's in a bunch of. He's great. But
Payback is definitely
Payback, he's awesome. He's great.
Star Trek Insurrection.
That's right. Yeah, he's great in Star Trek Insurrection.
Oh,
Does it sound like I'm? Hey, the dinner's on me. Does it look like I'm going for my fucking wallet?
yeah.
My
He's great.
friend
He
says-
is great in Payback.
Yeah, Payback's great. Yeah,
Yeah, I love Payback.
Payback is a good one.
I never saw Payback straight up.
I haven't either. I hear the difference. It's like half an hour shorter.
It
Yeah.
looked like I don't want to watch that version.
Well, it's like all it is the end is he kills Greg Henry. That's it. That's the end of the movie. Basically, he doesn't kill Chris Christopher's not even in it. He's not even in the movie.
Ooh.
That was all added in the direct. That was Mel Gibson's cut.
Payback I put in that league, speaking of Curtis Hanson, with like LA Confidential, where it's like
Well,
really
it's
solid movies that are about crime
Same writer.
that but most people don't really care about, and I fucking
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah,
Payback is great. And it
Yeah,
has,
I
I
love
like the fact
Payback.
that it has that guy, Mel Gibson, in it.
I just looked up who plays the Weasel.
yeah. Sean Gunn.
Shotgun.
Yeah, Weasel. Weasel. Is this guy a werewolf? No, he's Weasel. He's not he's harmless. Well, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but he's a good guy. He's all right. He's all right. That's fucking funny.
All right, let's stop spoiling it.
County,
Let's stop
600,
spoiling it for Phoenix. It's fucking good.
Got Danny Trejo and Con Air.
Yeah.
They knew the truth. They call me Johnny 500.
SA.
I mean,
love
even
it.
John Cena was good in this. I liked
Oh,
his part.
fucking John Cena is amazing in this movie. He's so fucking funny.
I liked
what's funny
Pete Davidson, Flula Borg. Like they were all just funny
In
parts.
Fast 9, John Cena plays Vin
Shit.
Diesel's brother.
Brother.
Yeah, I heard about that.
How?
There's a scene in Suicide Squad with John Cena. I'm not going to say anything, but I died laughing immediately. He comes on screen, and it's just like, this is. He has sense of humor. He's funny.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's just like,
funny.
oh my god, this is great.
I might have to go watch it again tonight.
I watched it again today. I watched half of it today.
Well, I was on like 4 hours of sleep. So like I was saying, I was falling asleep the first time I watched it because I was just so tired. So I need to watch it again.
Well, I went and watched it in the theater Thursday night, and then I was watching it today. Like I watched it for half an hour because fucking HBO Max sucks. Every time I watch something, it cuts off in half an hour. No matter what, it just says, "Oops, something went wrong. You have to restart your app." It sucked. HBO Max is garbage. It's a garbage.
My HBO Max experience is not like that at all. So
Yeah,
that's-
Mine either. I've never had a problem.
no,
I've had nothing but problems
that
with
sounds
it.
like your network issue.
It sounds like
I don't have any other no other streaming service has done that to me except this one.
What are you watching it through?
PS4.
Yeah, there's your
Could be
problem.
that.
But nothing else does that.
Yeah, just because nothing else doesn't mean that like the app version on PS4
I've never had
is good.
HBO Max crash. I will say ESPN, no matter what device you watch it on, it fucking sucks.
Is it?
ESPN app. I signed into Jansen's house, logged into my account and everything, set it to auto sign in. The second he tried to do it, it didn't work. I was like, what was the point of
Because
that?
it knew you were trying to give it away for free.
What the fuck do they care?
Oh, they care.
Fuck them.
They're gonna make that. That's the next law that's going to be mandated is everyone has to have their own
No
streaming
sharing
code.
passwords are.
Exactly. That's what they're going to do. Because that's the only reason why I have Netflix is I share that. I don't buy Netflix.
Well, I gave you my Hulu sign in, so yeah.
I know. Yeah, I haven't used it though. I
Yeah,
didn't plug it in.
Okay, so Adaptation. What do you guys give this out of 10? I gave it a 9. I really do enjoy this movie. 10 for me.
The Shawshank.
Shawshank, yeah. That's for Casino, Shawshank, shit like that. Like Jansen, your mic is muted. You keep trying to talk and you muted yourself.
Sorry, I said Godfather 2.
Yeah. Those are 10. Those are 10 movies. Yeah.
Like that, those kind of movies. Dramas mostly, honestly.
No, this is a solid 9 for me too.
Yeah. And that's a good score for this.
100%.
When I was trying to, Matala walked in when I was watching this, and I was like, I paused it and I go, okay, so Charlie Kaufman wrote, and I was trying to describe it. And it took me like 12 minutes, and I had to keep pausing. Going, all right, so this, and she fell asleep, and I was like, oh, I
Just walks out of the room back like Homer Simpson into the bush.
With a movie like this, you might as well just like restart it and be like, you just watch it because I can't.
She woke up for the last half hour, and she goes,
so confused.
Like 20 minutes later, we're sitting there, and I was talking about nonsense, and she goes, so was she was in love with him? Cooper? And I was like, oh, fuck you. You missed the... No, I'm not doing...
I'm not breaking this whole thing down. Watch the podcast.
Yeah, that's how much fuck fish.
Oh, thank you, Dick. I told that line to her because that's one of my second favorite line after you sound like you're in a cult.
Yeah.
Line. My second favorite line is she's like, they're in the van and she's like, I noticed you really got into aquariums and like, how do you give up on that? Like if you invested so much of your soul, so much of your life, he's like, yeah, I got all these fish and I got like 10,000 fish and he's listing off all their species and stuff. And he's like, and then one day I woke up and I was like, fuck fish. And I got rid of them all. And I swore off, I'm never going back in that ocean. And 15 years later, here I am. I've never stepped foot back in the ocean. And I love the ocean. That's how much fuck fish.
That's how much fuck fish.
I love that line.
Oh, that's great.
I totally sympathize with that, like that idea though, because I'm the type of person who will pick up a hobby and like be so into it for like 6 months or something, and then just completely fucking forget about it and never touch it ever again.
Yeah, I think most people are like that with something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That joke only works because he spent 4 minutes describing how much he got rid of and how much he sold these things off, and he's like, and that's how much fuck fish. And when he gets to that line, I'm like, oh my god, that's a perfect line.
Yep.
Oscar. He got an Oscar for this.
Well, he's so good at it though. That's like you forget how good he is because he's playing every facet of a human emotion. Because his storyline, he talks about he lost his mom and his uncle in the car accident. That's why he lost his teeth. That's why he doesn't get his teeth fixed. It's because it reminds him of what he did. And then he lost his business. He loses everything in 1 year.
Well, like I said, in everything that I've seen him in before, he plays a certain type of character, and this is something else. It's completely way out there, and he became that person. He doesn't even look like himself.
This is my second favorite Chris Cooper character. Strangely enough, my favorite Chris Cooper character is a much smaller role, which is the town. He's just in a couple scenes, but I love him in that movie.
Yeah.
He's been lying to his son about his mom for his entire life. And he's
I gave your mother the needle. I gilded her with a needle. I chemicaled her.
Some people you can snip with the shears. Some of them you get with the chemical. He died right after that movie.
He died. He looked like he was dying on the movie.
But anyway, I love Chris Cooper in that movie. He's only a couple scenes in like a prison phone conversation, but he's so good in that movie.
I gotta die 9 times before I can get out of here.
Well, part of it is he's an actor that needs to be older.
Yeah,
he looks sad. He has that look already. So the fact that he's older in the town makes it work better. But
he was great in The Amazing Spider-Man. He played Norman Osborn for like 2 seconds.
How bad are those movies? Sony, go fuck yourself.
Oh, they're awful.
Oh man, those are bad.
So didn't Sony make this movie?
No.
This is what movie? What company did this movie?
This is Columbia Pictures.
That's Sony.
It's Columbia.
Columbia is Sony.
Sony didn't make the movie.
They own the
company. The company that made the movie. That's a huge difference. There really is.
The first thing I ever saw him in was October Sky.
With Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's good in that too.
And he was so good in that. And I remember it because it was one of those ones that we got to watch like in class at school when we were like doing some sort of science, like learning how to make rockets and shit. But man, he was good in that.
Man, what is mine? Money Train. God.
Jesus. Oh wow, that's right.
This Boy's Life with DiCaprio and De Niro.
Chris Cooper was on that.
Guilty by Suspicion. What did I know him from? Ooh.
Patriot, Born Identity is when I really got to know him.
Yeah.
Me, Myself, and Irene. What a fucking weird career. Born Identity.
Well, that's the best line for Me, Myself, and Irene is when Renee Zellweger to Richard Jenkins goes, I smoke pot. What is that? Was that a crime? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he plays a lot of these like hard and edgy roles where he's like rode hard, put away wet, man's man kind of bullshit. And it's just, he's so good at it.
He reminds me a lot of Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
But Chris Christopherson does too many cowboy movies. Chris Cooper does dramas and he does like crime movies and he plays the drama in the crime movie. He's so good in that role. Like this, where he gets caught. Let me give a shout out to Jim Beaver, who plays Ranger Troy in this movie, because Chris Cooper's pulling out flowers with a bunch of Seminole Indians. He gets caught on the side of the road by Jim Beaver, a little character actor, Jim Beaver, who's in this one spot, and that's it. And he's like, "So what do you guys got there?" He pulls up. He's the sheriff, and he's like, "Oh, I got a bunch of flowers. I got this, 120 flowers, and all in told. He's like, "Yeah, that's my point." And he's like, "No, they pulled them out by hand. A lot of them are endangered too." He's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm getting at here." He's like, "That's really illegal what you're doing. You can't pull flowers from state lands." He's like, "Yeah, but you ever hear of the case?" And he does this whole spiel, and you can tell. There's even a line in the movie where Meryl Streep's reading voiceover, and he says like he loves flowers, but he loves more like the part where he's like so smart about not getting caught and arrested for it. Like he wants to like go, "Hey, this is what I did. Go fuck yourself. Seminole Indians can pull from the land. I can't. I didn't touch them." He loves that like fuck the man mentality more than he loves anything.
He's great in the Muppets.
He loves to give authority the finger.
Yeah, he loves to have that like technically I'm not legally in the wrong here.
Yeah,
and that adds a lot to his character. Just her saying dialogue off screen adds so much to his character.
What the fuck?
And that's why the voiceover, like Brian Cox is saying, don't do voiceover, but the voiceover does so much for the characters, and so much so that what's his name that Brian Cox plays,
McKee.
He came out after the movie came out, and he said, "I don't want to say don't do voiceover. I just want to say don't do voiceover to explain what we've already seen."
Right.
That's more what I meant when I say don't do voiceover.
Well, it just goes back to that. If it doesn't add any value to it, why are you doing it? Right.
Yes. American Horror Story with all the
exactly
the bullshit characters. Yeah. if it adds to it, great. If it doesn't, why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah, it's a waste of money at that point.
All right, guys, let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
9s all around, sounds like.
Yeah.
Noin.
It's up there with Pig
Yeah.
and Raising Arizona, which, Jansen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow
you're going to watch it tomorrow.
or tonight. I haven't decided yet.
I
The
would just
dogs are
say-
losing their minds.
I will just say, when you're watching the movie, watch Nick Cage's face, and you go, that motherfucker can act.
All right.
And look at that movie and count the opening, how long it takes for the credits to start.
Yeah. There's
All
a
right.
part where he gets thrown a knife into a board, and he's like, it makes me laugh so hard every time. This face is ridiculous.
Get your goddamn hands off my wife.
I do have one last question, and then we'll get out of here.
No.
Where do you put this as far as my ridiculous cage, quiet cage, quirk cage, or rage cage?
Oh, this is Quirk Cage.
This is Quirk Cage.
1,000 times over.
This is Quirk Cage, but with like
Because Raising
like
Arizona is where-
Quirk Cage on purpose. You know what I mean? There's Quirk Cage where he's like doing it and it's a bit kind of. This I think like he's doing it because that's what the character requires.
I put like Raising Arizona in Quirk Cage, so therefore I don't put this in Quirk Cage. I almost put this in Quiet Cage, but in a good way. It's like straddling that line between quiet and quirk.
Well, I would say Peggy Sue Got Married is Quirk Cage times a
I
million.
would call this adaptable cage.
But would you say this is the same as Peggy Sue Got Married? I wouldn't.
No,
I think the movie itself is quirky, but he's not quirky in it. He's playing it straight. Both characters.
This is character cage is what this should be.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a couple of those, so I didn't create a whole category for that. So maybe we have to come up with a fifth category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that works. Let's get out of here. So we have the outro. Shall we do it?
Yay.
Fuck yeah.
Citizens of Wonderland, rejoice in the fact that we have covered another movie on the show. Go to liwstudios.com for more videos and podcasts. Subscribe to Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Search on Amazon for books by Richard Pierce. Until next time, and in the meantime, we are Phoenix West, Dick Dickett and Jansen Carlin. So long, citizens. All hail our glorious leader. Shut off the fucking show now.
What did I do?